Before punk had a name, its heartbeat was already pounding inside garage rock. These were bands with cheap gear, rough edges, and more attitude than polish. Kids bashing out 2 or 3 chords loud enough to shake the walls. What they lacked in precision, they made up for with raw urgency, sneer, and rebellion. From snarling vocals to fuzz-drenched guitars, this was music that didn't care about rules, only impact. Out of garages, basements, and dive bars, a new spirit was born, wild, unfiltered, and defiant. In this video, we'll dive into 16 tracks from 1963 and 1969 that carried garage rock's raw fire straight into punk's explosion. Few songs capture the spirit of garage rock DIY like the Kingsmen's Louie. Its simple 3-chord riff, paired with Jack Ely's famously unintelligible vocals, creates a rawness that screams youthful rebellion. The looseness, offbeat drums, slurred singing, and carefree energy feels almost anarchic. Yet scandal soon followed. Many believed the mumbled lyrics hid obscenity, sparking outrage, on-air bans, and even a 31-month FBI investigation that ultimately found nothing.
Okay, let's give it to him right now.
Ironically, the controversy only boosted its aura of rebellion. Despite, or maybe because of, its imperfections and notoriety, Louie became an anthem for garage bands, proving that energy and attitude mattered more than polish. Its influence rippled forward, inspiring proto-punk acts to embrace simplicity, grit, and defiance. What ultimately made it legendary was not precision or polish, nor even clarity, but rather the glorious wall of noise that boldly dared to defy nearly every rule rock music was supposed to follow. If there's a track that perfectly captures the raw, chaotic energy of garage rock, it's the Sonic's Psycho. From the first screaming guitar chord to the pounding drums and raucous, almost violent vocals, this song hits like a lightning bolt. It's unapologetically loud, rough around the edges, and dripping with teenage rebellion. A pure sonic assault that feels like a party gone completely out of control. Psycho isn't about finesse or polish. It's about attitude, energy, and letting loose. And that's exactly what made it a blueprint for the proto-punk bands that would follow. Whoa, listening to it today, you can still feel the thrill of its aggression and the sense that music could be a weapon of defiance. This is garage rock in its rawest, most feral form, laying the groundwork for the punk explosion that would arrive a few years later. The Seeds pack pure garage rock uprising into Pushin' Too Hard, a track that refuses to stay under 3 minutes quietly. Sky Saxon's raspy vocals cut through the minimalist yet driving instrumentation, each line dripping with frustration and defiance. The punchy, repeating guitar riff locks into a hypnotic groove, while the drums push forward relentlessly, mirroring the tension in lyrics about forced conformity. There's a raw, unpolished power here. No flashy solos, no intricate arrangements, just attitude and energy delivered with precision. This lays the groundwork for proto-punk, showing how simplicity and ferocity can make a song unforgettable. Every chord and vocal growl brims with the DNA of punk, loud, insistent, and full of character. 3 minutes of chaotic charm pass in a blur, and just when you think it's over, the track vanishes, leaving a grin, a racing pulse, and the irresistible urge to press replay.
ay, 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 echemos abajo la estación de tren, echemos
Demolición by Los Saicos is a whirlwind of raw energy straight out of Peru's mid-60s garage scene. The track kicks off with jagged, fuzzy guitar riffs and pounding drums that feel like a call to action, instantly grabbing the listener.
demoler, demoler, echemos abajo la estación de tren.
The vocals are urgent, shouted, and rebellious, carrying an attitude that's almost anarchic, perfectly matching the chaotic instrumentation.
Me gusta volar, estaciones de tren, demoler, demoler.
There's a sense of controlled chaos, a primal energy that feels both youthful and defiant, making it clear that this band was pushing boundaries long before proto-punk became a recognized sound.
Ta, 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 ay, 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 ay.
Even though Los Saicos were far from the American garage scene geographically, the attitude, raw power, and DIY spirit in Demolición resonates with the same rebellious pulse that would inspire punk rock years later. Listening now, the track still hits hard. A blistering, fearless snapshot of garage rock's global reach and untamed spirit.
Demoler, 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 demoler.
Rocky Ericsson's raspy vocals slice through swirling fuzz and pounding drums, pulling listeners into a whirlwind of chaotic energy.
You're gonna wake up one morning as the sun breaks the dawn.
The guitars churn like a storm, bending and twisting over a relentless rhythm section that drives the song forward with unstoppable momentum. Every note and chord brims with urgency, a raw pulse of teenage rebellion and restless frustration.
You're gonna miss me, baby. You're gonna miss me, child.
The 13th floor elevators inhabit every second of You're Gonna Miss Me, letting distortion, feedback, and hypnotic grooves carry the track into a space that feels equal parts psychedelic adventure and garage grit.
I gave you the warning, but you never heeded it.
Its intensity laid a blueprint for proto-punk bands, proving that fearlessness and attitude could outweigh polish and precision.
You're gonna wake up wondering, find yourself all alone.
As the fuzz-drenched riffs swirl and Ericsson's voice teeters between pleading and defiance, the song commands attention in a way that feels immediate and alive. By the final chord, it isn't just over. It smashes through the silence, leaving a trail of untamed energy daring anyone listening to keep up. Psychotic reaction hits like a lightning bolt from the start. That chugging, fuzz-drenched guitar riff grabs you instantly, and the pounding drums push the track forward with relentless energy. John Sean Burns' vocals are raw, urgent, and a little unhinged, perfectly capturing the teenage frustration and chaos that defined garage rock at its wildest. Then comes the freak-out section, a whirlwind of feedback, swirling guitars, and explosive rhythms that feels like controlled madness unleashed. It's messy, it's loud, and it's gloriously rebellious, showing that garage rock doesn't need polish to make an impact.
Well, I need you, girl, by my side.
Psychotic reaction became a template for proto-punk bands that followed, teaching them how to balance raw aggression with catchy riffs. Even decades later, the song's energy is still palpable. It's a sprint of chaos, attitude, and youthful defiance, a garage rock classic that paved the way for the punk explosion. Gloria is pure garage rock swagger. From the first gritty chord, it grabs you by the collar and refuses to let go.
That came by my baby. You know she come around.
The Shadows of Night take a simple riff and turn it into a relentless groove, backed by raw, sneering vocals that feel half daring, half storytelling. There's no polish here, just fuzzed out guitars, loose drums, and a vibe that screams teenage defiance. Every time the chorus hits, it's impossible not to get caught up in that reckless energy. Reimagining Van Morrison's classic with raw, fuzzed-out intensity, The Shadows of Night's Gloria establishes a foundation for rock's insurgent spirit. Garage bands and proto-punk acts alike drew inspiration from its raw, direct, unfiltered energy, proving that rock doesn't need perfection to pack a punch. Listening today, Gloria still hits like a punch in the chest, a timeless anthem of defiance and fun.
She comes around here just about midnight.
Step into the world of the Monks, and you're instantly hit with something that feels raw, edgy, and a little dangerous.
Complication! Complication!
Complication starts with pounding drums and a fuzzed-out minimalist guitar riff that hooks you immediately, while the vocals cut sharp, almost confrontational, like a warning from a rebellious gang. There's a sense of organized chaos in every beat. The clanging percussion, occasional organ flourishes, and relentless rhythm create tension and unpredictability. Unlike other garage bands of the era, the Monks embraced a stripped-down, no-nonsense approach, proving that energy and attitude mattered more than polish or technicality.
Complication! Complication!
Listening to Complication today, it's easy to hear why it became such an influential proto-punk track. It's fearless, uncompromising, and brimming with youthful defiance. The song doesn't just rock, it commands attention, daring listeners to join in or step aside, and it still resonates as a bold statement from a band ahead of its time.
Complication!
Back in 1966, the Troggs dropped Wild Thing, and it hit like a thunderclap on the garage rock scene.
Wild thing. You make my heart sing.
The song opens with that unforgettable raw guitar riff, instantly recognizable and impossible to ignore, setting the tone for the rest of the track.
But I wanna know for sure.
So come on and hold me tight.
Lead vocals carry a sneering, playful charm, delivering lyrics that are flirtatious, bold, and full of attitude. There's a looseness to the performance that feels spontaneous, like the band is just letting the music take over, ignoring rules and expectations. That sense of unpolished freedom made Wild Thing a touchstone for garage bands and proto-punk acts alike, showing how raw simplicity can carry an immense punch.
Wild thing.
Listening today, the track still crackles with youthful rebellion and reckless energy, capturing the mid-60s spirit of experimentation and defiance. Wild Thing isn't just a song, it's a time capsule of teenage chaos, charm, and garage rock attitude.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Too many teardrops for one heart.
Question Mark and the Mysterians stormed onto the garage rock scene in 1966 with 96 Tears, a track that grabs you from the first note.
You're way out on top now. Since you left me.
That signature organ riff dominates, haunting and hypnotic, while the vocals are raw, urgent, and full of teenage defiance. The lyrics tell a tale of heartbreak and frustration, but it's the energy and attitude that hit hardest. Simple chords, a steady rhythm, and minimal production make it deceptively straightforward, yet every element packs a punch. Question Mark and the Mysterians proved that raw emotion, catchy hooks, and unapologetic attitude could outweigh polish, inspiring countless garage and proto-punk bands.
And when the sun comes up, I'll be on top. You be right down there, looking up.
Even decades later, 96 Tears crackles with urgency and rebellious spirit, a reminder of why the band remains iconic. This isn't just a song, it's a statement. Garage rock distilled to its most infectious, defiant essence, laying the groundwork for punk's arrival.
You're gonna cry, 96 tears. You're gonna cry, 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 cry.
You both made your bed and now you're gonna have to sleep there.
In the mid-60s, the Remains captured raw garage rock energy with Don't Look Back, a song that feels like a sprint through teenage rebellion. From the very first chord, the guitars cut sharp and the drums drive relentlessly, setting a tense, forward-moving energy.
Oh yeah!
Barry Toshin's vocals are gritty and determined, carrying a sense of urgency that mirrors the restless youth of the era. There's a raw, unpolished charm to the track. It's tight yet loose, structured but full of attitude.
You know, people got some strange ideas on how life should be lived and things should be done. But I'm here to say you gotta do just what you want.
The song captures that feeling of wanting to break free, to move forward without hesitation, which resonated deeply with proto-punk bands that followed. Listening today, Don't Look Back still carries the spark of mid-60s rebellion, a snapshot of a band that managed to be both urgent and melodic. It's a perfect example of how garage rock combined raw energy with emotional drive, paving the way for the punk explosion that was just around the corner.
And when they started their talking, remember just one thing.
Fuzzy, distorted guitars hit instantly, and the drums pound like clockwork, pulling listeners into the relentless drive of talk.
Got me a complication, and it's an only child. It's in my reputation.
Sean Bonnewell's sneering, urgent vocals cut through the mix, dripping with frustration and raw teenage defiance. The music machine lock into a mechanical rhythm, each repetitive riff and stripped-down beat-building tension that feels both hypnotic and sharp-edged.
Can't seem to talk about the things that bother me. Seem to be what everybody has.
The minimalist structure doesn't dilute the energy. It amplifies it, letting every chord and vocal line land with punch. This is garage rock distilled to its purest form, a track that laid the blueprint for proto-punk bands to follow, proving that attitude, precision, and raw power mattered more than polish or complexity.
Just I'm down to size.
The final feedback-soaked chord hangs in the air like smoke from a campfire, lingering, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore, leaving the track's energy suspended in the mind long after it stops.
Talk, 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 talk.
The Standells are often hailed as the godfathers of garage rock, and nowhere is that title more justified than with their 1966 hit Dirty Water. What's funny is that the band was based in Los Angeles, yet their signature song is a rough-edged love letter to Boston, complete with references to the Charles River and the city's nightlife.
Well, I love that dirty water.
Musically, it's everything a garage rock anthem should be. Fuzzy, overdriven guitar riffs, pounding drums, and vocals delivered with a sneering, almost sarcastic attitude. There's a looseness to the performance that feels completely unpolished, but that rawness is exactly what gives it so much character. At a time when rock was quickly becoming more polished and experimental, the Standells leaned into grit and simplicity, paving the way for the garage and proto-punk explosion that followed later in the decade. Over the years, Dirty Water has become both an unlikely Boston sports anthem and a cornerstone of garage rock history, capturing the scrappy, rebellious energy of mid-60s rock.
But I'm a wishing and a hoping, that just one
White Light, White Heat is pure chaos in a song. From the opening drum thump and distorted guitar assault, it grabs you and refuses to let go. Lou Reed's vocals cut sharp and raw, full of sneering energy and urgency that mirrors the song's frantic pulse. It's noisy, aggressive, and completely unpolished, a track that thrives on tension and relentless drive. The lyrics, hinting at drug-fueled nights and urban grit, match the music's abrasive intensity, making the song feel dangerous, thrilling, and alive. This track became a cornerstone for proto-punk, showing that garage rock could evolve into something harsher, edgier, and totally uncompromising. Even decades later, it hits with the same raw punch, a reminder that music can shock, excite, and break rules all at once. White Light, White Heat is garage rock turned feral, a direct ancestor of punk's confrontational spirit. One grinding riff, a single, unchanging piano note. Iggy Pop's detached, dangerous drawl cuts through like a razor. I Wanna Be Your Dog takes minimalism and sharpens it into a weapon. The Stooges weren't concerned with virtuosity. They were chasing pure impact, and every element hits with relentless intensity, creating a sense of chaos that lingers long after the song ends.
Come on! Well, come on! Shit!
In 1969 America, this stripped-down three-chord assault was shocking in its simplicity and menace. It's proto-punk, proto-metal, and pure nerve. For all its bluntness, the track carries a dark weight that bands from Black Sabbath to Nirvana would later channel. Sometimes heaviness isn't about speed or complexity. It's about attitude and raw emotion. And on this track, the Stooges had that in spades.
Now I wanna be your dog.
Recorded live in Detroit, Kick Out the Jams captured the MC5's raw, political, high-voltage energy in its purest form. Wayne Kramer and Fred Sonic Smith's guitars formed a wall of distortion and feedback, while Rob Tyner's voice roared like a call to arms.
I know how you want it, how quick and tight. Girls can't stand it when you do it right. I'm gonna stand. Let me kick out the jam.
The rhythm section hit with the force of a street protest, relentless and loud. The infamous opening rally cry, controversial even now, made sure you knew this wasn't background music. It was a manifesto.
Gotta kick on.
In the US, it became an underground classic, bridging the gap between hard rock, proto-metal, and the punk explosion a decade later. MC5 weren't just playing songs, they were starting fires. Nearly a decade later, Blue Oyster Cult would pay homage with a live cover on Some Enchanted Evening, taken at an almost hardcore punk speed, but with none of the usual loss of dynamics. Blue Oyster Cult transformed the raw garage punk energy of the original into a heavier, riff-driven assault. Guitars chunkier, vocals darker, and rhythm section tighter, showing how the proto-metal spirit could reframe a Detroit classic without losing its rebellious edge. More than half a century on, Kick Out the Jams still crackles with the urgency of its time. A raw, unfiltered blast that set the stage for generations of hard rock, metal, and punk to come. That wraps up our dive into the raw garage rock spirit that helped shape the proto-punk sound of the 1960s. Of course, this is just a glimpse. Countless other bands were thrashing out the same wild energy that set the stage for punk. If we missed your favorite track, drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.